Let's get nuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I'm going to try to keep this distance. Try not to move forward too often.
Yeah. Just keep. So, what level do I usually talk at? I suppose
Well, you
I
seem a
kinda
little
talk
bit
at
lower than that now. Sometimes you get a bit animated.
I get passionate about things at times. Yeah. But
I think
if we keep going here from this angle, I'm just saying random words now that aren't making sense. Do you ever have this thought? No, this is just a thought. Like, I have fucking thoughts, man, and I have random fucking thoughts, like driving down the road or something, and I'd see like a bird, and then I'd see, like, I just might spot a house or something. I'd be like, how the fuck are we doing what we're doing? Do you ever have weird thoughts like that? Because I find that we're just fucking stuck in this like little rat race of, okay, job, family, life, make money, sleep, eating.
Yeah.
But if you really step back and kind of like, I'd often have this like mind experiment where I take myself out of the planet and pretend that I'm just fucking on the moon, and I look down. What do I see? Okay, you'd be thinking blue for the water, land mass. What's on the land mass? These fucking things that can build shit. And what can they build? Like the complex, it looks basic from when you're looking into it, but if you look into like the software of a fucking phone, lad, that is fucking, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How the fuck did we think, or how did we develop?
Yeah.
Compared to like a cockroach or a fucking monkey. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's funny when you look. I just recently saw a picture of fucking Ireland from. You can't see anything from space. You can't see anything. It's just green, just the rivers, just the lakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're like bacteria. We're microscopic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like you say, when you zoom in on the microscopic to a microscopic level on a fucking on computer technology or fucking nanotechnology, you're seeing some crazy shit. We're like fucking nanotech for the planet. That's what we are.
Have we started the podcast or?
I suppose we probably have.
So you were saying like about the idea that nanotech, that we were kind of like nanotech if you're looking down. Like I was, and you kind of like fungi. So if you're there and if you're like, I don't know, having a walk, you look down, you might see a bit of mass of fungi. That's fucking mass of fungi. What the fuck is that? Put it under a fucking telescope, as you were saying.
Yeah.
The complexity of the fucking bacteria, whatever the fuck it is, the fungi. But then think of it this way, it's another thought experiment to do, right? So, okay, if you were, we call it a fucking alien, right? And you come on to the planet Earth in your fucking big spaceship, you look down, you put on your fucking telescope or whatever just to view what the fuck is going on in this crazy thing. What's the first thing you notice in, let's say, maybe a city, you know?
You probably notice intelligent design. That you wouldn't have natural
so
shapes found in nature.
Buildings.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think? I think the dominant fucking species here straight away is fucking cars. Because them fucking things are, they're going in through fucking little systems. These fucking yolks move around. Okay, that seems to be a living thing there that's moving. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you fucking turn on the telescope, fucking get deeper into that shit, and then you notice, okay, there's something inside them fucking little tins of metal. It's fucking beings, what do they call them? Bipedal, I suppose we're calling them, right?
Yeah.
Bipedal, right. Then you turn your fucking super telescope then into the human, then you get down deeper. There's fucking like bugs and bacteria inside us, so there's living things inside on us.
Yeah.
So you could call a car a fucking living thing, right? The person is within the car, that's a living thing. Then there's fucking like these little bacteria mites, you know, like you get little air mites living on.
Yeah.
So they're basically using a human as a fucking vehicle.
Yeah.
What's inside the fucking mites, I don't know. You can go down farther again with your telescope. But do you ever have fucking thoughts like that? I have queer thoughts like that.
I don't know, man, but like I bought one of my kids one of these little miniature microscopes. They've got good reviews, so I bought it. It was only 30 quid or something like that.
Yeah.
And the first day we had it, there was a fly in the kitchen. We killed the fly. Stuck him under the fucking thing. And I saw some disgusting shit. living on this fucking fly. I couldn't believe how powerful this little microscope was. But there's little fucking, like you're looking at this tiny fly, can't see anything on it. You zoom in on this shit and there's fucking shit creeping and crawling on it. Like tiny little microscopic fucking
dust mites, I suppose.
Oh, whatever it was, gave me the fucking creeps. Like,
yeah.
The further down you go.
But then, like, did you ever watch Ant-Man? Did you ever Marvel film?
What was it called?
Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw.
Did you watch?
I know the concept of it. I think I might have seen the first one, but
yeah, you have your man Paul Rudd inside it, and Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, so Ant-Man, he can shrink himself down to the size of an ant, but he can also shrink himself down into things like the quantum realm.
Okay.
So, I can't remember, did they go into the quantum realm in the first one? I think they do. But the second one is called Ant-Man. Oh no, the third one, sorry. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania. So they get down into this fucking quantum realm, and there's living beings down there too. They're like fucking aliens.
Right.
Down there kind of a thing. They're their own like little, they're living within the quantum
realm. Yeah.
So, do you go down deeper than that again? Do you go down into a different realm? Like, we don't know, like, what's there and fucking... Like, it's the whole idea of the brain. Like, they're saying that the comparisons of the brain, like, the similarities between the layout of the neurons and the way they fire, like, to the universe. Like, I don't know, man. It's fucking... like, what's really going on, like, I don't think we can comprehend it all. Like, we're just here in our fucking day-to-day... every day, 9 to 5 or whatever hours you're doing.
Yeah.
Get up.
But
breakfast.
we're kind of forgetting how fucking amazing this situation is. Like, we should be dumbfounded a lot of the time. Just
this is what I'm saying.
Be in awe of what the fuck we're experiencing.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you're walking down, or you're driving down the road in a car that's been developed over 200 years now, maybe. Yeah. That to cavemen would be a fucking marvel. We're driving on a road, like, and we're always giving out about the roads here in Ireland, like, but when you think about it, man, it's a huge intricate system. Like I'd often wonder there, just general roads, even by roads, like the amount of fucking work that was put into them.
Yeah.
Like, you have to fucking, well, you don't have to, but I think people have to step back and just think sometimes. This shit is amazing. Like, we're literally standing on a ball that's rotating. Like, gravity, we don't even know really what gravity is. Is it a force? Is it, like, did you watch that? It's Terence Howard. Did you watch that podcast?
It was a bit complex for me.
Very I couldn't. Apparently, I was trying to listen to it when I was driving, but apparently you have to watch the video as well because there's so many diagrams.
Yeah. But
he describes gravity is not like a force about like a massive object sitting in space-time that's attracting things. It's more to do with electricity. That's what he says gravity is. But they don't fully, if you even look up, they tell you what gravity is, scientists, but they can't tell you exactly what it is. We haven't a fucking clue what's going on.
It's like we were talking about before, like where they tell us, you know, the different layers under our feet.
Yeah.
You know, but the reality is they've only fucking cut halfway through one of them and they've just made up the other ones. We don't know for sure. Like,
look this up.
How can you know that these layers if you can't get down there?
We're told this in a fucking textbook. But that's the problem. It's a bit of a problem because people are so busy trying to pay their fucking bills and trying to make a few pounds.
Just trying to survive.
Trying to have some bit of a good life, like, you know, saving up for holidays, doing your hobbies and shit.
Yeah.
No one really has time to fucking think of what the fuck is
only
going on.
Only when you're a fucking kid and they slap that out of you fairly quick as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like what's the like there's a pyramid of a hierarchy of needs. And it kind of starts with obviously at the bottom. We need fucking food, clothing, shelter, you know. And then as you go up, once all your needs are met, maybe then you can sit around and have fucking think about what the fuck is going on, do you know? But until then, you're just in a rat race trying to survive. Like we haven't done the fucking podcast now for a month because we're fucking working our asses off.
See, that's the thing. and trying to line
and
up
just
together.
not like and just being fucking ball bagged at the end of the
Yeah.
week, like saying, "I'll meet you at the weekend." Yeah, fuck.
That's it, like.
You know.
But then, right, so you have a fair point there about your pyramid of whatever responsibilities, whatever you want to call it. But like, I just thought there, you know, when you are a kid, like the curiosity you have when you're a kid, like it's like everything's new. That's why they say like childhood kind of goes slow compared to adulthood. Is because everything's new to you when you're a child, and when you're experiencing something new, it leaves an imprint in your memory, or basically that it's that you're taking notice of it because it's a new task that you're kind of dealing with. Whereas when you're an adult, you're just doing the same shit over and over. You're rarely doing new things, and that's why they say time seems to fly by quicker.
Because you're just forgetting your life.
You're not a pilot, kind of thing. But like, don't they say too, like when you're a child, that you can hear different ranges of sound, like different hertz? Did you ever do that experiment?
I never do that now.
So
I remember being in school getting the ears tested, but like,
no, but you can find this stuff like on YouTube online anyway. But apparently there's hertz, or decibels, whatever you want to call it, but hertz it was. There's ranges in volume that you can't hear when you get to a certain age, so your ears basically, they're losing their quality of function maybe.
Okay.
So the older you get, you can't hear some of these sounds. But like, I was listening to Elon Musk there recently, and he's been saying this now for a couple of years, but his whole thing of like, he's always asked, because he's developing the Tesla robots, what's going to happen to the workforce of humanity, like is there going to be jobs for people? And he reckons that for society and civilization to prosper, basically what has to happen is there has to be like kind of like a universal income, right? So that when all these companies have robots like Amazon, whatever, and if they're saving money, if they're making more profit, the government will have to enforce like some kind of a rule that some of that profit will have to go to the government towards this universal pay scheme to all its civilians.
Yeah.
So then what's happening is, his idea is every civilian will get a lump sum at the start of each month that'll go into their groceries or whatever, like, rent, bills, whatever the fuck, then their, we call them activities and hobbies and stuff, But if people don't have jobs, they're going to have a lot more free time, right? Then go back to your pyramid of responsibilities kind of a thing. When you have more free time, like, notice there yourself, if you're ever idle growing up, like, what you do if you have more free time, if you're literally at home doing nothing, what's the one thing that you tend to do more than when you're busy?
As a kid?
No, just in general. Think.
Yeah.
You think. If you start to think, you start to question things.
Yeah.
If you start to question things, you start to research and you start to dig deep. Like this fucking conspiracy shit. A lot of these like big conspiracy theories or theorists are people that have time to dig into it.
Yeah.
Whereas like majority of people that haven't a clue about all these conspiracy theories, they just don't have the fucking time.
Yeah.
But like,
or the fucking energy to even want to think about it at the end of the week.
But if there's truth to these fucking conspiracy theories, like the dark shit, like a fucking BlackRock fucking oil and everything, and 2030 you'll know nothing, you'll be happy. And if it does come in that robots and automation do come in, and then this universal income comes in, then there's more time, and then there's more time to think, and then people start to really question what's going on. And if there is truth to deep state kind of shit, then that could cause a bit of a rebellion, in my thought.
Yeah, well, see, I feel like, okay, well, first of all, if everybody's getting this universal basic income, then everybody's dependent on Big Brother, Big Daddy government to mind them. My money's coming from the government, and pretty soon, if you're going to have rules that you're going to have to follow, and the rules are going to get more and more and more, and they're more difficult to follow. and more restrictive, and I think that's just fucking, we're just heading for slavery no matter what way it's going to go, I think. Do you know, like, we're already fucking slaves now. But if like, I remember, do you ever come across the Zeitgeist documentaries?
No.
They came out sort of 2008, 9, 10, around 11, around that time. And there was part of one of the episodes was kind of the banking system, trying to explain exactly how how corrupt the banking system is, how they're just creating money out of fucking thin air and then fucking lending it out at fucking interest, and how it's going to inevitably crash because it's fucking Ponzi scheme, that there's more debt now than is money in the world. Do you know what I mean? So it can never be paid back, so it has to be replaced eventually. So that was one of the topics. But they had this fucking guy, Jacques Fresco, who I'm embarrassed to admit it now, but I kind of started following this crowd. He had this, it was like a cult called the Venus Project, and it was from this town called Venus in Florida. And a lot of the stuff that Musk is saying, this kind of guy was basically saying, we're heading for a point where technology and automation is going to fucking replace the workforce, and when that happens, you know, we're going to have sort of a situation where we're going to have to share the earth's resources, kind of a thing. And it's a kind of a socialist idea as well, I think, nearly communist like. But he had this really airy fairy thing where it's just going to unlock all the potential that people have, and it's going to create more technology, and it's going to create abundance, and the world is going to be fucking amazing, basically. And that's going to happen after we get to this point where we all get replaced.
But like, it's
by
like
machines.
Yeah, and then the idea that it'll open up, I suppose, creativity kind of a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
People will have more, like,
Yeah.
that's what splits, they say, humans from a newer animal, we're creative, like we design things.
Yeah.
The technological caterpillar, if you ever heard of that idea.
Yeah.
You know, that we're basically a cocoon for something like, I don't know, AI or...
Yeah, I've heard Rogan saying, like, we could be like the creators of fucking a new life form, and maybe we're just the fucking caterpillar taking us to that fucking butterfly stage.
Yeah, so does a caterpillar really know what the fuck it's doing when it's making its cocoon? I don't think so. It's just embedded into its DNA, and it's just eventually going to do it. Like, maybe that's what we are destined to do. Like, I don't know, do I believe in destiny and fucking stuff like that? I think just things happen and series of events leads to something.
Yeah.
That's my kind of belief. But yeah, I don't know. But if there is, this is the point I'm getting at, like, if there is this fucking sinister like force that's actually governing the world secretly, like a shadow government or shit like that, like, I think this is kind of a bit of a, like, if you're giving people the freedom to question things, and
then they might figure things out they're not supposed to.
Yeah, and then that's going to be a threat.
Yeah. And ultimately, like, the most powerful people in the world now are not going to give up their power.
No.
Because fuck, we have to give everyone a basic universal income now. They're not going to do anything that's going to be a threat to their status.
No.
And to their influence.
But I see there as well in an interview that Elon Musk, he was asked about the resources, like, you know, of let's say fossil fuels and stuff, and he was saying that's bullshit. He says it's basically lies.
Fake scarcity.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, exactly. He said there's a lot more. You just find it, like for oil. You just find another fucking.
Yeah.
Another oil, what they call oil pools.
Okay, then what's the argument? Because they're always saying that the lithium mines are running low, and that for the batteries and stuff, and our phones and in his cars and stuff.
Sure, you could, yeah, as you said, false scarcity, like, it's like fucking the crack with diamonds, like, we were about that the last day. Sure, like, that's how you give something value.
Yeah.
Do you know? And if fucking big corporations, like mining corporations, like, you're not going to have fucking Joe Soap down the road, like, going digging for...
Yeah.
If he was digging for something, if he found a fucking material like lithium or an oil reservoir or something, you know that the company down the road is going to be coming up and trying to say, hey,
Fact.
we're taking this.
Yeah.
But I know you were kind of doing a bit of looking into David Icke as well.
Yeah, he's always hammering. He's on X every day hammering Musk. Like every time Musk says something, he goes, "Is that what your fucking masters told you to say?" Icke's thinking is like, all of these guys, Carlson, Alex Jones, fucking Joe Rogan, Musk, all these big names. They're all answering to the same person. They're all kind of singing off the same hymn sheet, and like he would say things about Musk, like Musk would, on one hand, is warning everybody that AI could destroy the world, but on the other hand, he's like, hey, check out AI Grok, it's going to be fucking amazing, like, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like putting microchips into people's heads and stuff, and so that's like he's every day on an X claiming that he's being censored because he was kicked off it during the days when it was Twitter. And
that happened to a lot.
Maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, whenever
before Musk took it over.
When Musk took it over, he's since been allowed back on.
Yeah.
But he's not allowed on YouTube, and this is where I fucking go to fucking another level on Ike, because I've like people who like Ike, they get fucking pissed off when you question it, because a lot of people see him as a fucking legend and a hero, and you know, he's been out there exposing this stuff for 30 odd years, but there's so many red flags for me around Ike that I don't trust anybody anyway, like, and I agree with all the things that he's saying about Russell Brand or fucking Alex Jones. I suspect all of these people, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also suspect him, and you know, a lot of the stuff you could say is like anecdotal, but just going from the very beginning of his creating who he is now, he was a professional footballer, a goalkeeper, and apparently he's quite good or whatever, but he had arthritis in his hands and cut his career short at 20 or something. Then he starts working for the BBC as a television presenter, and like, that's already a red flag for me. Anyone coming out of mainstream media to become something else, you know, especially an organisation like the BBC, that's a red flag. That doesn't prove guilt. Nothing that I would say about him will prove that he's guilty, but I think it paints a picture, do you know?
It's kind of suspicious.
Yeah. So he went on. Did you ever watch the Terry Wogan interview that he did? That came out in 1991. So
is it the one where he thought he was Jesus?
Yeah, basically saying that he was kind of the son of God or whatever.
Was that on Gabe or the latest show?
Yeah, so what happened was he was on Terry Wogan first, came out in his shiny green tracksuit. That's a red flag for me straight away, because he knows how to be taken seriously, and he knows how to present himself as a television fucking presenter. He knows how the audience will react to someone coming out in a tracksuit, and then sitting next to Terry Wogan, who's wearing his lovely suit, and his hair is nice and neat. It was a wig, but his hair is nice and neat. Ike looks a bit ruffled and a little bit fucking just not quite as together, we'll say, do you know? And he's more animated, and Wogan is nice and calm and relaxed and blah blah. And I think the audience, I think there was people probably in that audience that were kind of there to hoop and cheer when they were supposed to, and laugh and sneer when they were supposed to, you know, kind of. That's just my thinking. But after that interview, he became the laughingstock of Britain and Ireland. Everybody that would have followed mainstream media would have been conscious that David Icke was out there. This former presenter from BBC now is saying that he's the son of God, and he's got this new book out and blah blah. So but one of the things that they ridiculed him on was his appearance. They mocked his appearance, and then less than 2 weeks later, he goes on to our version of Terry Wogan's show, which was the Late Late Show, big show in Ireland at the time, wearing exactly the same tracksuit. He took the show to Ireland. It was like a show to me. Do you know that we've had this success over here? Now we're going to bring the band over here, and we're going to play the exact same gig in the exact same style. Whereas he could have said, "Fuck, okay, maybe that shiny tracksuit wasn't the right idea." But he led with all of this when he could have come out in his best suit, with his hair nice and tidy, nice and calm, and he could have said, "There's some mad shit going on BBC, and Jimmy Savile is involved in this stuff," and he could have gently tried to expose this stuff, but he came out with the crazy shit first, made himself a fucking laughingstock, and then he's set free. Then go on, tell them all about the paedophiles, and tell them all about the fucking lizards under the ground while you're at it. You know, and that's just going to make people dismiss everything that he says. Now, maybe the fucking lizard things are real, and like the holographic universe and stuff that he talks about, I find all that stuff fascinating. But there was just too many little things like that. And now he's living on fucking the Isle of Wight, and it's known for paedophilia. These Guernsey, Jersey, the Isle of Wight, the Isle of Man, they're known for their love of fucking paedophiles.
Is that off the coast of England?
Yeah, and the Isle of Wight literally has a fucking prison specifically for paedophiles. You know there's some mad shit going on over there, like if we found out 20 years down the road, did you know the fucking Isle of Wight paedophile prison had tunnels in and out of it? Who would be fucking surprised? Do you know what I mean?
I never heard that, no.
Yeah.
Right. And he's living on that island?
He's living on that island.
And, like, has he ever addressed why he lives there?
No, he says he loves it. I've seen him interviewed. I remember seeing him interviewed years back, and I looked for it and I couldn't find it. But he was talking about like satanic sacrifices that were happening. Like he was like, he brought the person and the cameraman to where it was on the Isle of Wight, saying I only live a fucking couple miles down the road. And he was like, every Halloween, right in this spot, and there was all people walking around this park. He was like, every Halloween on this spot, they'll sacrifice someone right here. And it's like, you're living 2 miles down the road and you're not gonna fucking. What are you talking about, like?
Yeah, so what did he say to that?
The interviewer didn't fucking question it, you know.
But he addressed it though, wasn't he? He was questioning it like I can't remember exactly what he said, but I do remember him being questioned about his appearances there on the Terry Wogan show and the Late Late Show, and then he basically asked if he had regret by the way he carried himself, and what he did say was that he said, look, in hindsight, I shouldn't have started off that way initially. In hindsight, I would have planned myself out more articulately, and but then I suppose I don't know as much as you do, but I'd be thinking maybe at the time was thinking, look, I'm just gonna go out like this, land with a fucking bit of a bombshell, and dress like this way so that people would take more notice of me, like, what the fuck is this crazy cunt doing?
Like, he attempted a career in politics as well before this.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he ran as a candidate for the Green Party in England. And when you see all the pictures of him, you know, involved in that and giving speeches and campaigning and stuff, he's got his suit on, man. He's got his hair is nice and neat. He knows how to fucking present himself. And even before that, he tried his hand at writing a book. He wrote a book called It's a Tough Old Game, Lads, I think it's called, or something like that. And it was just kind of about his short-lived career in football and stuff. So it just seems to me like the guy was on a mission to make something of himself. And there's nothing wrong with that, like, you know, but...
What's that theory about the, what were we saying there, the holographic universe? What's his theory there?
Yeah, so when he talks, I love all this shit. This is what sucked me into him in the first place. Like, I was like, I didn't believe this stuff, but I love this kind of sci-fi shit. And the first time I came across David Icke was about 6 months, I'd say, before my so-called awakening. When it was the summer of 2009, and I don't know what I was Googling, but I came across this character. I never heard of David Icke, and I was pronouncing him David Icke. I don't know what the fuck. And I just saw this like synopsis. David Icke believes that there is a race of humanoid reptiles living under the ground, and they control all of the world's governments. And I was just like, oh, I'm sold on this. This is like a sci-fi movie. I'm into it. Like, you know, if this is a movie, it's like, like there's a few different TV shows like that. V, I think was it V?
Oh, V, yeah.
That, where they had reptile skin under their faces.
Totally forgot about that one.
So I was kind of sucked in from there, like. But he talked when he would talk about shapeshifters. He would say, look, in the physical world, it's not possible for one thing to shapeshift into another. But he's saying that we're in this fucking holographic reality. And everything is fucking code, and they can just change their code or something like that.
Like the Matrix, kind of.
Yeah, and so they can mask what they really are, and we see what. It kind of similar to that movie. What was it called? They Live. Have you seen They Live?
No.
Oh, John, you're gonna have to watch They Live.
What decade is this from? Like
the 80s, starring Rowdy Roddy Piper from the WWF. But it's fucking. It's,
I heard of that one.
yeah,
I heard of that one
yeah,
actually.
you
I
gotta
came
watch
across
it.
it somewhere, but I never watched it.
Chris Carpenter, is that the guy who directed it or wrote it? He was involved in Terminator and stuff. But yeah, it's you have
John
to watch
Carpenter,
it.
yeah.
John
John
Carpenter,
Carpenter,
yeah.
didn't he direct fucking Halloween, didn't he?
I couldn't tell you now, I'm not sure, but that's basically a classic, John. I mean, if you're going to have a podcast and you haven't seen They Live, then maybe you want to fucking take a look at yourself.
Do you know what? I'm not only saying it because you said it. I heard of that a couple of times, and I had it down in the notes. I've movies to watch, kind of thing, and it's on the list.
Yeah, you must have seen the memes over the years. Someone's got the sunglasses. They're looking without the sunglasses, and
I'd seen the trailer for it.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. So basically, it's like a veil, and that's taking the veil off.
Yeah.
And he's seeing really what it is. Yeah, it's strange cast in your mind, the Roddy Piper, isn't it?
Yeah.
After discovering a pair of sunglasses that enables one to see the world the way it truly is, Nada realises that the media and the government have subdued the population with subliminal messages.
Yeah, it's very good, like, but
there's another one as well, kind of like that vibe. I think it was like the 70s. Well, keep going about it, I'll figure out what.
No, but all I was going to say was, I remember just another story that Icke was telling him. I think there was a book called The Holographic Universe where the author was talking about a hypnotist on a stage, and he hypnotized this man on the stage so that he wouldn't be able to see his daughter. And the daughter then was in the audience, and so your man clicks his finger or whatever, and he says, "Can you see your daughter?" And he's like, "No, I can't see her." And then he gestures his daughter to come closer, and she's standing in front of him, and he can't see her. He brings her up on stage. "Can you see her?" "No, I can't see her." And then the hypnotist takes his pocket watch out of his pocket, and the daughter, he moves her right in front of this man, and he puts the pocket watch behind her back, and he says, "Can you read what's on this pocket watch or whatever?" And your man leans forward and he reads, because he can see through his daughter because she's not there. Ike talks about this as an example, or like a simpler example would be like people were on the stage, and he hands them a potato. The hypnotist hands them a potato and tells them it's an apple, and they look at it and they say, "Do you like that apple?" Or an onion or whatever. "Do you like the apple?" "Yeah, have a bite." They bite into it. They're eating a fucking apple. They can't taste the potato. They can't experience it because they've been reprogrammed to see apple, reprogrammed not to see Mrs. She's invisible now. Do you know?
I'd love to be hypnotised just to see is it fucking real, like you just, you know.
Yeah, I've never been hypnotised either, but you know, like there was TV shows back in the day where they would hypnotise people into doing stupid shit, and you'd wonder was it real or not or whatever. But anyway, this is the kind of stuff that Ike talks about. But he never stops banging on about how he's being censored, and that bothers me because it's like, for example, he's banned on YouTube, but if you type his name into YouTube, there's hundreds of interviews. There's nothing that he's saying that is not available for you to see on YouTube. He's on other people's channels, do you know? So,
but what's his sources? Like, where does he get all these fucking theories from?
I don't know. Like he's travelled the world, years of research, and.
But does he ever like go into, like, you read a few of his books, did you?
I did. I read a couple of them, but maybe it was more than 10 years ago.
But does he ever go into, like, you know, where sources of where he actually got like information of?
Yeah, I think he would. Like, if he was talking about MK Ultra, he would cite certain sources, like your one Kathy O'Brien. He talks about her a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Did you watch his? I think is he releasing, or is he after releasing a new documentary there?
He's a new book coming out.
It's about spiritual kind of.
I'm not sure. He's got a new book coming out. He's been advertising it for a while, but I nearly just want to fucking. I just nearly want to.
I'd love to go and see him.
Yeah, I would too.
He's going to Belfast there recently enough, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Fair enough of a trek to be going, isn't it?
And we might drive up.
David Icke new book, The Reveal.
The Reveal, yeah. But you know, this is something that he got me with as well back in 2010, right? And this is
2022 his book was called The Trap.
The Trap, yeah. I never heard that one, but he used to keep saying years ago, the people are waking up. Everybody's waking up. There's a mass global awakening happening. So when I first stumbled across him and the information about like 9/11 and stuff like that, I really, like, I was hearing this, the people are waking up, and I thought I was after waking up. I was like, I'm waking up. It's only a matter of time before all my friends and family finally kind of go, holy shit, 9/11, they lied to us about 9/11, all the governments are corrupt, all the fucking politicians are paedophiles, it's all going to come out and the world's going to change. And the only thing that's changed is things have gotten worse in the last fucking 15 years, and he's fucking gotten rich, you know?
Is he rich?
Well, I don't know, he's worth a few million. I think I looked it up a couple of
his
months back,
son,
about 10 million or something.
He's his son with him that he'd be organising all the like events and things. But
Yeah.
apparently like he's been refused from a lot of places.
Well, they're like, again,
apparently
they're
he's
saying he's
banned
banned
from
from
countries.
37 countries around the world or
He
something.
brags
It's
about that,
like,
doesn't he?
yeah, he talks about it all the time, but it's like,
Yeah. I'd say like if you were to get into, I must rightly go down the rabbit hole of him one of the days. Like.
yeah, there was a big situation there about 7 or 8 years ago. He basically came out saying, we're starting a real television channel. We're going to be on mainstream television, and we're going to call the channel The People's Voice. And people were fucking donating. I never donated because I just at this point was starting to not believe, but people donated a fuck ton of money for this because they really thought it was going to be on like one of the main channels. It was going to be like a real television station, and then it turned out, well, it's not going to be actually on the TV, but it's going to be on the internet. It's going to be an internet television channel.
Like that Alex Jones one.
Like Infowars.
Infowars, yeah.
A bit like that, I guess, but I think it was sold to people initially like, you're going to be flicking through the channels, it's going to be RT1, RT2, BBC 1, BBC 2, Channel 4, and there it is between Channel 4 and fucking Eurosport.
And how long ago was this?
Voice. This was maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I think.
And heard nothing about it since?
No, so it kind of kicked off very quickly. It was pretty obvious that this isn't going to be on TV actually, it's going to be on the internet. But they brought in this one Sonia Poulton. Did you ever hear of her? She was like a mainstream media person as well, and it kind of gave it more legitimacy, or in the minds of people like me, it was going to make it more legitimate that there's real journalists going to be on this, and mainstream that might bring mainstream audiences over and stuff like that. But they very quickly had a falling out. But to make a long story short, a couple of guys started investigating how much they were donated and how the money was spent, and they were analysing this video that David had put up about the studio and giving a tour of the studio and showing the equipment and stuff. And there was a few guys going, that's the cheapest fucking, that equipment, like for the money that they were given, they did not get this is not state of the art, you know. And there was like 4 or 5 red flags there where there was a lot of money spent. There was no evidence that it went into this thing. It you know, straight away it wasn't on TV like it was supposed to be. And if as far as I know,
did it go on to TV?
No, it never went on. It never made it onto a television channel.
Why, it just wasn't picked up by any station?
They just didn't. I don't know how you make a TV channel. Like at the time, I had a Skybox and I had like 200 fucking channels that you wouldn't watch 180 of them anyway. You know what I mean? But I thought it was going to be maybe in there somewhere, but it never even made it that far. So
that's interesting. Yeah, why?
That's as far as I remember. And then as I kind of lost interest in it then, but it fizzled out and it doesn't exist anymore. Like, so you know, you got a lot of people kind of worked up about that, and then nothing came of it.
Sure, he has a website there, doesn't he?
Yeah, so that's my rant on David Icke anyway.
David Icke website. No, I'd love to hear his favorite articulate, he's well spoken. DavidIcke.com. The graphene hive mind and the fake vaccine cloud. So this is just on his main page. The real reason for COVID fake vaccines. UK arms donate to Ukraine would cost 2.71 billion. UN Pact for the Future, digital IDs, vaccine passports, massive censorship. Oh, okay, so this is the thought as well I want to kind of talk about. So, straight away, like, you were on about there, like, fiat currencies, so like your US dollar or your euro, the US there being how many trillion in debt?
34 trillion, I think I heard today.
Something like that, is it? And then whatever, the amount of debt shown, it's obviously like surpassing the amount of money that actually exists. And Donald Trump is, I just seen it there today, he's setting up a platform for crypto.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and he's been very pro crypto. The other fella that was running for president as well, talked about him before, Robert Kennedy Jr., but he's out of the race now. He's running as independent.
Has he joined Trump?
No, but people were saying that he should, like, but he hasn't. But he's endorsed him, alright. He's endorsed him.
I thought there was talk of Trump making him head of the CIA or something.
I don't think they'd let him in there. No. But Trump, so your man RFK, like he was at like crypto seminars and everything, like, and he said if I become president, I'd be pushing for crypto and like the freedom of crypto and everything, like, and it won't be as monitored and and controlled kind of a thing. So Trump is pushing as well. He's going to like he's promising that if he becomes president, that America are going to Joe Biden the most amount of Bitcoin, and they're going to be the country that holds the most amount of Bitcoin and all this crack. Basically making crypto the asset of of the country. So he set up his own, I think it's called Worldwide, I'll have to look up the name of it. But so like my whole thought of, so BlackRock and Fidelity, they're two massive asset companies, and like they've bought up a lot of fucking Bitcoin now and have been offering it as like an asset class for like their investors, basically. So you can do these ETFs, so exchange trade funds they're called, sorry. So basically what a lot of people do is, if they want to make investments, they get onto an investment manager, give a certain amount of money per week, and leave the investment manager basically invest their money for them. So that could be into like stocks, but now they're saying like this crypto, like Bitcoin, has an ETF, so that is going to be an asset class.
Right.
So BlackRock and Fidelity are offering these packages of investments to their customers. So then there's the theory that the reason why they're buying up all the BlackRock or all the Bitcoin as well is they want to fucking control it. So if you have it, you can control it, right? And control the amount of it. So the whole thing in the crypto field is now buy as much fucking crypto, like Bitcoin, as much as that you can before it gets too expensive that you can't fucking own it.
Right.
Because like there's only something like 21 million coins that exist and that will never exist with Bitcoin. That's what gives it value. But then there's the theory that it doesn't matter how much you fucking buy, what'll eventually happen is that the governments will come together and they're going to make like this universal kind of a coin, we'll call it Unicoin. So your Bitcoin, if you start buying stuff with make transactions with Bitcoin, for example, it's going to be illegal, kind of a thing. So they start monitoring it that way, or whatever, and then they'll turn society against people that are using these like cryptocurrencies to buy things, and then people are going to be like fucking ostracized, kind of a thing, and kind of like the vaccine passports for a while. Do you remember, like, if you didn't have a vaccine, or if you didn't have a vaccine, people were like, ooh, they're like fucking get away from me kind of shit, So they're like villainizing people, I suppose. But this whole idea of this kind of, I'm just calling it like Unicoin. So it's the whole thing. Something like that. That could be a system there for fucking your universal income. We pay people in this Unicoin. But then, like, I don't know, did we talk about this already before in one of the early episodes? But you actually mentioned to me about that Black Mirror episode of the social credit system. Do you remember?
That's a good episode, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's such a good episode.
Yeah.
But they're doing it out in China now, aren't they?
yeah, they've been
They've
doing it for a while. Yeah,
social credit score, so
Yeah.
like you can vote in your neighbour how much you like him or how much
Yeah.
you don't like him, kind of a thing.
Apparently, if you fall below a certain score, like they won't let you use vending machines and stuff. They take away little perks and stuff. Just making your life as miserable as possible,
But
basically.
imagine if that shit happens, right? You have like a coin, universal currency, you're paid in that, okay? But then you have a social credit score.
Yeah.
And then if you say fucking wrong things like on a social media platform, like what's happening over in England now, where they're fucking getting arrested
Mental, like.
for putting up posts on Facebook.
Mental.
Like what was that one that you heard? You heard that some fella put up like get to the streets or something to fucking rebel.
No, he said, this fucking guy didn't say anything like that. I can't remember how much time they gave him, but he got a custodial sentence for posting a picture of a fucking dinghy full of Africans landing on a beach somewhere. I think it was somewhere in Europe, and he just said, "Coming to a town near you soon" or something like that. Fucking prison, like.
What the fuck, man? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
But like if that's happening there in fucking England, like.
Yeah. They're emptying the prisons then with fucking scumbags, pouring scumbags out to get these fuckers in. And there's been a few murders now of people like that, like fairly harmless guy who might have fucking said the wrong thing now, like, or whatever. Ends up getting murdered then by the Muslim gang inside in the fucking prison. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, that's it.
That's
like,
happened a couple of times now, where
sent
like
in for
fairly
death
harmless
sentences,
guys have been
really.
fucking just basically let in there to die.
But like if that shit, if something like that comes in, that's the fear that I kind of have, like, and like, and what's to stop them really? Do you know, they're going, like, if there is a plan for that, and obviously there seems to be something happening with that shit over in England, like, and like so this whole thing of I took a note of there was this podcast the other day, and they're on about like the Bilderberg group. Do you know much about them?
A little bit.
Yeah. So I kind of have to look up what so it's the Bilderberg group. So basically they are it's an annual off the record forum, so there's no media there. There's no fucking minutes of the meeting taken, but you would have like all your world leaders
around them as well.
Yes, yeah, you would have all your world leaders there. But there's a strange fucking history there where like Barack Obama, when he was running for president, who was he running against?
Mitt Romney.
That was it, yeah. But he was seen going into a Bilderberg meeting like a couple of months before he was actually elected.
Yeah.
And then he became president.
Yeah.
Then there was like other things that went on, like I tell you, what's the name of that lady now that's over the EU?
Von der Leyen.
Yeah.
Von der Leyen.
That before she became like her rank, what was her rank before? Was she in Germany?
I don't know, but I think she comes from a powerful family as well. Like, I can't remember.
But I think
all this shit up before, but
yeah, there was something about her anyway that before she was seen at a Bilderberg group as well before she got the status.
Yeah.
They kind of brought her up the ladder, and then like shortly after that she got whatever role that she got, just like things like that, like Hillary Clinton, the Clintons, just strange things like that of people basically attending this meeting before they got these massive roles and joined in top countries. But the whole theory is that the Bilderberg group is like trying the theory, and it's conspiracy theory, but like that they're trying to gather all these groups of people from different parts of the world, kind of forming a one world kind of alliance where they're kind of sharing the same values and the same principles, and possibly in the future going to like putting down the same policies. So that's the whole thing. Like, it's very strange the way they don't have any media personnel there, and there's nothing released to the public from there. But it's masked as this innocent get together kind of thing.
When I first heard about the Bilderberg group, like, they were like super secret, and then a few years went by, and they had a website. Now they weren't calling themselves the Bilderberg group. it was, I can't remember the guy, I should remember his name now, but the guy who really exposed them, he was researching them for years, and he gave them the name the Bilderberg Group because the first meeting they had, whenever it was in a hotel called, or in a place called Bilderberg. So he called them the Bilderberg Group after that, but they moved from spot to spot. Every year they have their meeting in a different location or whatever. But he stalked these guys and wrote about them for years. Fuck, his name will come to me now.
But yeah, I just looked it up there on Wikipedia. I know you can't believe everything you see in that, but it's they're saying it was a forum established in 1954 to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. The group's agenda originally was to prevent another world war. It's now defined as blustering a consensus around a free market, Western capitalism and its interests around the globe. Like, participants include political leaders, experts, captains of industry, finance and academia, numbering around 120 to 150 people attending it.
I would love to see what Wikipedia were saying about the Bilderberg Group 10 years ago or 12 years ago. I guarantee they would have said there's no such thing as the Bilderberg Group, it's just a wild conspiracy theory put forward by flat earthers like Alex Jones or something like that, you know.
The Bilderberg Hotel even has a picture here in the Netherlands. Is the location of the first conference in 1954. Yeah. But there's some. So the Wi-Fi's do a very good episode on it as well. That's what I was listening to. It was like last week now, and it was the amount of information that he was firing. But I'd highly recommend it. But
what was it called?
You'll see. Well, you if you go down through the episode, you'll see it's one of the latest ones anyway. So then there's a thing called the Trilateral Commission that they're talking about, right? So the Trilateral Commission is a non-governmental international organisation aimed at fostering closer cooperation between Japan, Western Europe and North America. Like, what's that fucking doing there? That's unifying countries, right? Was it Richard Nixon? Do you remember, didn't he say at some UN meeting before? Reagan, sorry. He said, I'm paraphrasing now.
Yeah.
But how great would it be if we could all just solve the world's problems by getting together under one kind of roof and one kind of decision making kind of process.
Yeah.
So the whole theory of this fucking Bilderberg and the Trilateral Commission is that it's trying to slowly fucking push its way towards that one world fucking government. This one, the Trilateral Commission, it was founded in July 1973 by American banker and philanthropist. Do you have a guess?
American banker and philanthropist.
1973. David Rockefeller.
Oh yeah, Rockefeller, of course. Yeah.
Who sought to address the challenges posed by the growing economic and political interdependence between the US and its allies in North America, Western Europe and Japan. The leadership of the organisation has since focused on returning to our roots as a group of countries sharing common values and a commitment to the rule of law, open economies and societies and democratic principles.
Well, like, they've had a long time now to get this fucking shit together, and the world is not getting any better.
No. If anything, the rich are fucking getting richer.
It all sounds very nice on paper.
Okay, so so this is Wikipedia again now, right? They have this little fucking drop down here related to that. Conspiracy theories involving the Trilateral Commission. Some conspiracy theories believe the organisation to be a central plotter of a world government or synarchy. So there's been a few books written about this. It says one of them, Among the Truthers, A Journey Through America's Growing Conspiracist Underground. So that's wrote by Jonathan Kay. Then he goes down through a couple of them there as well. Oh yeah, So neoconservative pundit Charles Krauthammer mockingly alluded to the conspiracy theories about the commission when he was asked in 2012 who make up the Republican establishment, saying, Karl Rove is the president. Who's he?
Dunno.
We meet every month on the full moon at the Masonic temple. We have the ritual. Karl brings the incense. I bring the live lamb and the long knife, and we begin with a pledge of allegiance to the Trilateral Commission. So he's obviously just making fun of it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that video you were watching there? We were watching about the fucking Bohemian Grove. I went to find that on YouTube there recently. I can't find
It's
it.
gone now. Is it? Yeah.
Can you remember the name of that fella? The channel?
Oh fuck. Silver something or?
Bohemian Grove. Foot footage.
I can't remember now. I never followed him, but
yeah, but like that was. How was that left up?
It was up for a while.
It was up for a good while, but why the fuck was it left up there for that now?
Yeah.
I can't find it now.
Do you ever like this? It's like I always get bad about censorship and shit like that, and people fucking claiming that they're being censored when they have millions of followers, or you know, they're getting millions of views, but they're being shadow banned, and this kind of thing bothers me. But did you ever notice how many, like you could put this into YouTube right now, just type in something like, watch this before they take it down.
Yeah.
Man, like there'll be videos there that are up weeks, months, years with that title. Watch this before they take it down. That's bullshit, you know. And I just don't trust anybody who says shit like that. Watch this before they take it down.
Like, but
because I put stuff up on the internet that was taken down in less time than it would have taken to watch it. Like I put up a 5-minute video and 3 minutes later it's taken down.
Oh yeah, but maybe as well, Niall, like if you highlight watch this before you take it down, maybe they're like, oh hold on a second, if we take this down straight away, it's going to show that okay, there must be something to it. But if we leave it linger for a while, then people might think, oh, this must be bullshit.
But you know, people forget though. Like when we were talking, was it the last episode or 2 episodes ago, we were talking about the mad shit that went down in Miami.
Yeah,
that was a wild story, and then we just forgot about it. Just went out of your head, like.
There's this mad one as well. I must start digging into it about the Las Vegas fucking 2017 shootings, these mass shootings.
Yeah.
Remember there was was it some kind of fucking.
It was a concert or something.
Yeah, a concert or something like that, and but they were saying it was one shooter above in the fucking hotel. Can't remember the name of the hotel now, but that he shot however amount of people.
Yeah.
But then there's this website. You won't find it through Google, but you will find it through like DuckDuckGo, another search engine. I was actually listening to the podcast of a fella that was. So I came across this on Instagram. This guy talking about it. Then I was listening to the podcast. Danny Jones talked about that before, Savage podcast,
right?
Where he had this guy on it called. I just liked the title of it, and I started listening to it. Then I realised that the guy that was on as the guest was the fella that put up that video.
Oh right.
So basically, in the video, you can click into it. It shows the map of the area in Las Vegas, in around the hotels and the places where the mass shooting was, and in the map there's little pinpoints with camera footage and video footage. And where 911 calls were made, and so there's different areas, and so there's like a hotel down the road from it, like that's not even near, the hotel where your man was found. So basically, he had tons of ammunition above there. Then apparently got bored after a while and killed himself. That was the story, right? And never left his hotel room when he was making the shootings.
Yeah.
But yet there was more gunshots that were heard, and that were way down.
Right.
And like there was gunshots coming from a hotel, and there's no way that they could have heard the gunshots unless it was actually going on there.
Right.
And so there's a suspicion that there was a cover up for something, for things. It's kind of open for. Then they were theorising that like there was black helicopters going around there that the theory is that they were firing, but that doesn't really stand. But then there's a theory that maybe it was something to do with kind of like a terrorist kind of like fucking terrorist group that were there, and they're trying to cover it up. So your man's name is, if you actually just look it up on TikTok, just look up 2017 Las Vegas shooting map, your man's going to come up. His name is Ian Carroll, The name of that podcast actually on Danny Jones is Evil Inside the Vatican, Satan Worship and the Spy War Nobody Talks About.
Nice.
So he's on about the spies from Israel and the Jews,
Right.
and how they're planted in America basically, and that they had something to do with the JFK assassination. And yeah, I'm not all the way through the podcast, but it's fucking good.
Yeah.
But there's stuff on like TikTok and things that you can find, like, and YouTube seems to be a place for censorship. But
with that Las Vegas shooting, there was just there's a few things straight away, the usual anomalies that you get with fucking mass shootings. But they said this guy had I can't remember now how many guns and how many bullets he was supposed to have.
yeah, how the fuck do you get
They
them
were
up
saying
there?
like that he would have had 2 big fucking gear bags. He'd have been carrying this shit through the lobby of the hotel. Why didn't that raise any alarms? But you go, okay, well, forget about that. Why is there no CCTV footage of this guy walking through the hotel? Like, they never showed us him being there. Do you know? It's an easy one. There's so many cameras in these hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was footage of him though. When I looked it up at the time, there was footage of him in the hotel from a week before that they released. And apparently he had slipped in the lobby and taken a hopper and he'd hurt himself. There was something wet on the fucking tiles or something, and he took a hopper and he hurt himself. And so there's footage of him in a security room, sitting on a chair, and they were saying this was him last week, only a week ago, but in the same hotel, and he'd accidentally hurt himself. And then you're going, okay, that's great. You got this footage of him in the office there. Where's the footage of him walking through the doors, like?
Yeah.
You know? And like with all these mass shootings, it's always the same. Like the Bataclan one in Paris, security cameras weren't working that day. Should have
the fuck.
The one in Colorado. Your man goes into the cinema. Should have security footage of him walking into the cinema with guns. No footage.
Was that the time the Dark Knight came out?
Yeah.
He dressed up as the
I
Joker
think
or
it
something,
was,
did he?
was it the Dark Knight? Yeah, I think it was actually. Yeah, it was the same with fucking the one in Nice where your man was supposed to have fucking ploughed through a load of people on the promenade in Nice, and all the security cameras weren't working that day either. Like,
but just why I have you there. Do you remember that one that was on about the videos that were found at the map? There's one video then that someone was taking on a phone, and apparently you can hear the voice of a cop that was there saying, "Ooh, headshot, nice one."
oh fuck.
Yeah. No, I didn't look into the site myself. I was going to, but
Yeah, I saw footage of it as well that I thought was weird at the time. There was a guy basically filming the crowd. He's just probably some dude with his phone in his hand, and you see everyone, like, you hear the gunshots cracking, and you see all the people kind of ducking for cover in front of him, but he's just panning left and right all the way across this crowd, and he's like, there's people at his feet ducking down, but this guy has no fear. Do you know, like, he's not flinching when the gunshots go off. Do you know what I mean? His hand is smooth as he's panning from left to right to left, showing the crowd. Everyone's ducking down, everyone's scared shitless, but not this guy who's basically standing up. He'd have to be standing up in this crowd to do this.
what the fuck?
So why wasn't he afraid of getting shot? I just thought, it's like he'd want to be some
Well,
mad
this is a pure
bastard.
psychopath.
He'd want to be a mad bastard. Like, maybe he was. Maybe he's like, this is my chance.
He's desensitized because of all the fucking Call of Duty, I suppose, is it?
Fucking
But
hell.
I kind of backtracking here a bit, right? So I forgot to mention what they were on, what I was listening to about that Bilderberg group, right? So the CFR, sort of the Council of Foreign Relations, right? So you have a couple of movie stars that are part of that. So Angelina Jolie joined in 2007, and then you have George Clooney as well as part of it.
The Clintons are big into that as well.
The Clintons, yeah. So, like they have the theory that, like, as well, that, like, Hollywood and all is propaganda fucking machine basically, and you've heard Leonardo DiCaprio as well. Did he get the Golden Globe? Was it? Do you remember for is it the Revenant? Is it?
Yeah, the Revenant.
Not the Golden Globe. What's the name of it?
Oscar?
The Oscar.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, for that film, and in his fucking speech, wasn't he talking about, like, climate change?
Was he? Yeah, I didn't see the speech.
I think it was climate change. But like you wonder, they're pushing these things.
Yeah, they use celebrities to fucking push these things.
Yeah. But if they're pushing the celebrities to talk about like, we should all come together and fix these issues. Coming together being the fucking bananas fucking idea there, like.
Yeah.
You know.
They really do. I really believe that they do want the one world government.
Really.
They want the social credit score for the whole
planet. Really slightly pushing that little idea that people want to accept it and they say, okay, maybe it is a good idea. Because if you try and enforce it straight away, people are going to fucking reject it.
Yeah. They use movie stars.
But I think there's definitely going to be something there with crypto. Like there's going to be this coin that's probably not on the market yet. Of course they have it in fucking development. Apparently Visa have this crypto coin in development where you'll only be able to use that coin to whatever major purchases.
Okay.
And
but central banks are doing it as well. What do they call them? CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. They're talking about this.
They're talking about that.
Like, yeah.
Man, sure, I was driving up in Galway there like last year, and I spotted a sign up in a wall. Someone just put it up there, like they said, "Beware the CBDC."
Oh really?
Yeah. But like, and then like if you, this is the problem. If you're walking the street, like, and if you're not kind of aware of these discussions of what people kind of talking about this, like we are, the first thing you would think, you look at that and you're like, fucking another lunatic, just talking shit, another fucking paranoid.
Yeah.
Bollocks, like.
Do you know, I've been starting to wonder though about the whole, you're familiar with the NPC meme or the NPC analogy.
Character. Yeah.
And I think it's Buddhists or something, there's some religion there that thinks that there's too many bodies and not enough souls, and the thinking is that some people are literally, they don't have a soul, they're not fucking alive or something.
That's the idea.
And I wonder about the fucking the NPC analogy, like, because there are some people that are like fully programmed. There's nothing that you can say to deprogram them, you know. And like I've probably talked about this before, but my first experience of, first of all, becoming a conspiracy theorist, the first time I was ever called a conspiracy theorist, but it took me years to fucking looking back on it and going, the guy that called me the conspiracy theorist was like the ultimate NPC. You know, there was like, it was basically like January fucking, or maybe mid 2010 or something, and I was watching this fucking documentary, I think it was called Ripple Effect, 9/11 Ripple Effect, I think it was called, and it kind of got me fucking, I was just sitting there kind of scratching my head going, how did I not know about Building 7? How did I not realise there was no footage of a plane hitting the Pentagon? Do you know what I mean?
Just go into Building 7 there, Swan.
Well, Building 7 was across the road from the World Trade Center. I was actually talking to a couple of mates of mine, because I've got these three friends I'm in a group chat with, and we go way back. But I've tried to talk to them about this kind of stuff over the years, but it's like fucking,
they're not listening.
They're not biting. One of them is nibbling a little bit, but two of them are not biting. But I use 9/11. Sorry, now I shouldn't laugh about this, but I use 9/11 as like my Christmas. It's my Christmas for conspiracy theories. So right. I just sent them. I sent them a picture there on 9/11 that I came across on the internet, and it was a picture of the Twin Towers and Building 7, and across the Twin Towers it says "Never forget," and across Building 7 it says "Forget." Right, and I just sent that to them.
Jesus, that's
and
weird.
Then they came back and they went, excuse my ignorance now, like, but what the fuck is Building 7? And so I got a little bit of a bite out of them. And I was just explaining to them that basically the official story is the planes hit the towers, the fires caused structural weakness, and down they came. And that's the official story. But most people aren't aware that there was a 47-story skyscraper across the road called World Trade Center Building 7, and that came down in exactly the same way as the Twin Towers came down, like
the same time.
It came down shortly afterwards, and it was reported on the BBC, and you can look this up, you can still see the pictures of it on Google. It was reported on the BBC about 20 minutes beforehand, before it had come down, that it had collapsed. and the news lady is standing there with New York in the background, the fucking smoke fucking going, and the World Trade Center 7 is still behind her, still standing, while she's saying it's just come down. Do you know? So people are saying
Literally,
they just released that story 20 minutes early.
I googled there Building 7 BBC.
Yeah.
The top one from BBC website. 11th of September 2007. The conspiracy theory is still spreading after 20 years. Then there's a next one after that. Fullfact.org.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Do you know
Error.
What?
Error in BBC reporting doesn't mean 9/11 was scripted. Full fact.
Full fact. Yeah. Well, click on Google Images now, and you'll see the pictures of your one, and you'll see the caption underneath, and it's saying Building 7 has collapsed, and Building 7 is
yeah,
in
we
the
might throw that
background
up
behind
there
her.
on the podcast
Yeah.
after. Jesus, yeah, fucking hell, she's there. Terrorism attacks in US live, and the fucking thing collapsed behind her
Yeah.
as she was talking.
No, it was standing there as she was talking, but she was
Okay.
saying it had already collapsed.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. And then there's loads of footage of it from different angles coming down, and then there's an interview that this guy Larry Silverstein, who had just taken out, he just purchased the building, or he purchased the Twin Towers anyway, and
Is this the whole thing about the
he took out
insurance?
the insurance, big insurance plan, and he's recorded in an interview saying that they said there were structural damage, there was too much damage done to Building 7, so we made the decision to pull it, and then the building came down. So people will look. That's not perfect.
Tell.
It's not perfect.
Yeah.
You know, people will say no, that's taking out of context. That's not what he meant. So I wouldn't use that as evidence.
Right.
But you see this fucking thing coming down, and there's footage of it coming down where you see explosions coming out the windows first as it's coming down. You see these.
But sure, there's videos of that after coming out there lately.
Of the Twin Towers as well.
Yeah, and you can see the small little flashes.
Yeah.
And when the airplane crashes, the nose of the plane hits the fucking whatever tower. Which one is it?
There's a little flash.
There's a little flash in the opposite kind of side, tangential side.
Have you heard the fucking no planes theory? This is another level, and then we can talk about Building 6 as well. There's another Building 6 as well. Between Building 7 and Building, the Twin Towers thing is Building 1. Between Tower 1 and Building 7 is Building 6. And Building 6, I'll send you the picture of it. Building 6 it's like a rectangular, kind of square rectangular type shaped building, but from the aerial view there's a fucking hole in it, a giant hole in it. And I saw one photograph years ago and I can't find it anymore, but it was of an FBI guy standing in the middle of Building 6 looking up at the sky in this, what they turned it into, basically like a polo mint. The fucking inside of Building 6 is gone, but the maddest thing of it all was that all the beams and shit that were still kind of in the surrounding parts of the hole, they were all facing up as if the fucking inside of it had been sucked up.
What the fuck?
You know, it's hard to, it's impossible to imagine. But even just looking at the aerial view, that whole fucking building, there's a massive fucking hole in that building.
What the fuck?
Like taking up more, maybe 2/3 of the building gone.
That's mad.
At least half the building gone in a circular hole.
But Trump was saying as well back in like 2001. I don't know, was it on the same day that it happened now. But I heard, this is weird, like, because I only heard this fucking today, this fucking clip of Donald Trump. And we didn't even plan about fucking talk about I'm living there.
Yeah.
Literally only today. But he was saying that there's no way that the plane fucking caused that. He said because he had his engineer actually did the job on built the fucking, well, it was part of building the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And he said the amount of steel that went into it is fucking crazy.
Apparently the designers were interviewed as well, and they'd said that they were designed to withstand a fucking plane crash. They were they were designed to take anything, like they were like there to stay.
Yeah, and
these guys.
Did I see this clip as well, a picture of a fucking nose of a plane that was hit by a bird, and you can see the damage that it puts to the fucking plane. I might throw that up there as well.
Yeah, that's interesting, yeah.
But like it kind of puts into context that why didn't the fucking plane fold?
Just crumple.
Yeah.
Well, there is the no planes theory that they just CGI'd them into the fucking into the televisions for us. There's footage going around of like firefighters on the ground saying that they'd heard explosions, and then somebody said no, it wasn't an explosion, it was a plane hit the towers, and they were going, there's no fucking planes hit the towers, and you hear your man going, no, there was, I saw it on the TV, because it was all over the fucking televisions from the very beginning. Now there's other footage going around where you see the towers, one of the towers exploding. I think it's the second tower getting hit, but you don't see the plane. Now maybe you can remove that. So, but there was one. I don't know that I sent this on to you. There was one shot that they played on television a lot of one of the towers hitting. It was one of the most dramatic shots. But as it's flying by, I think I sent this to you before. As it's flying towards the building, you can see that one of its wings goes behind a building in the background.
That's right.
Do you remember that?
Fuck it, yeah. I remember seeing that one.
I sent that on again to that group of lads. I sent that on about 5 years ago and I got no response, but that was a fucking mad one.
That was fucking daft.
Do you know?
But like, right, so
they're saying like for that plane to cut through the fucking steel like a hot knife through butter.
But straight away, right, so someone that would be kind of like totally against that idea, that say, oh, sure, didn't have the CGI back in the time. But I was listening to another fucking podcast from the Wi-Fi's there during the week about DARPA. So what they say about DARPA is like that at any given time they're roughly 20 years ahead of technology wise.
Yeah.
But sure, like of course then like they should that's of course they'd be able to fucking have that technology to CGI that shit.
There was an English guy, Richard D. Hall. I don't know if he's still around, but I remember watching some of his stuff, and he studied a lot about 9/11, and he had a story that they were able to see there was some sort of a trail left. I can't remember now, kind of jabbering, but basically his theory was that there was a plane, a fucking drone or something, that was somehow fucking cloaked, projecting a hologram of the planes.
What?
And he was talking about this because your man John Lear, who said he flew one of those planes, and he said it's just scientifically impossible for those planes to fly at that speed, at that altitude. It's just not possible. So make of that what you will. Like everyone say, look, we saw them, and there's so many angles. Like there's an angle like where there's a guy just filming on the street, and just as he fucking turns, they hear the plane going. You can hear the plane going by. You can see people looking up, going, "Is that a fucking plane?" And then just as he turns the camera, you see the fucking plane smashing into the tower. So I'm not sold on the no plane theory. There's so many angles and stuff, but it's
but there's
some mad stuff, anomalies are surrounding.
But there's only so many videos as well that's taken of the plane, right? Isn't there?
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
you'd imagine there'll be more street footage.
You don't see any more results coming up, like.
No. And then like the blatant lies about the Pentagon getting hit by a plane.
Do you ever see that clip about they're like kids and there's in some kind of apartment building, and they're on the phone to their like parent. And they're saying, "Where are you?" And they're just telling them they're having a crack. And literally, the fucking thing is happening.
Yes.
And they like,
I saw that.
Yeah.
I think you sent that to me.
Yeah.
They're in an apartment or something. They're just chilling. They're probably having a few drinks or something. They're just messing.
Something like that. Yeah.
And the next thing happens outside the window.
And they're saying, your one's on the phone to the parent, tell them where they are, whatever. And then then they just go, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then whoever's recording them.
Yeah.
Just starts recording the fucking.
It's wacky, lad.
The footage.
I saw a couple of pictures in the last couple of days. Of people like a little boy posing with twin towers in the background, just as the explosion happens. Do you know? So people were just like getting on with their lives, and it's just mad to think that you were like, okay, say geez, son, and just as you fucking take the picture, boom. You know? Could
be possible, but still, it's a strange coincidence. But you were on about there the fucking the Pentagon. There's footage of that.
Yeah, and the reports were like the Pentagon is surrounded by fucking how many cameras are going to be outside the Pentagon?
CCTV, none of them were working.
And the only picture, no, just the only footage that they ever released was this this two or three still frame shots, and all you see is a blur. You just see a blur, and it was from a car park security camera or something. But there was stories that the FBI or whoever went fucking racing around and collected all the CCTV from like petrol stations and shit that were in the surrounding area. Just took everything because they just didn't want it to be seen.
That whole thing started the war on terror.
When you see the first footage of the people on the ground at the Pentagon, and everyone knows that the towers have been hit by planes, and you see this fucking CNN reporter, and he's saying, well, I'm here on the ground now, here at the Pentagon, there's no visible signs that this was a plane, there's no fucking engine, there's no fucking fuselage, there's nothing identifiable here as an airplane. Yeah. But he's just reporting it as he fucking sees it happening. Yeah. But then, within 6 months or so, he's backtracking on that himself,
Oh, what the fuck.
And then there was the other plane that was apparently crash landed in Pennsylvania. I think it was Pennsylvania. And sure, like that, the entire debris from that plane was just loaded up into a few black plastic bags and taken away. There was no, like when a plane hits, like it's supposed to land in this wood.
Pennsylvania, was that the same time?
It was another hijacked plane, and the story behind that was that the passengers, that plane was supposed to go for the White House or some shit.
Oh, sorry,
The heroes on the plane took it over, but then it ended up crash landing in the fucking forest there. But like when a plane hits a fucking forest, you're gonna see like a
trail of trees,
a big trail. It was nothing. It was just like a little black hole.
There's a clip as well. I don't know what company what news crowd it was, but they were interviewing Trump, and I just seen a clip of it there. He was recently enough, and they were asking him, "Would you release the JFK files?" And he goes, "I've released some of them already, but I will. Will you release the Epstein files?" Pauses for kind of a second. "Yes, I will." And will you release the 9/11 files? "I will." Now, he said before that he would release the JFK files, and they weren't. No, I don't know. Did he release? He said there that he released some of it. I don't know. I must dig into that. But there's a thing that did you ever see that video of Donald Trump? And he's there with a few dolls around him, and when he's younger, apparently that was Epstein was with him that night.
Oh, okay.
He was friendly with Epstein, sure.
There's a few photographs of him, alright.
Yeah. But if he says he's going to release them fucking files,
I don't believe it. And that's what I'd say to anyone who's going to who really believes that Trump is the real deal. Say well, first of all, he said Hillary Clinton was going to go to jail. That was the thing. And then, when you point that out to people who believed it, then they'd mock you. And I don't know how people are going to rationalise it in their minds when they go and they vote for him and he becomes president and none of this shit gets released.
Sure, he's saying that he's going to end the fucking, before he takes office, he's going to end the war on fucking with Ukraine.
Yeah.
And but the whole thing he's asked, he said, "Look, do you want Ukraine to win?" And he says, "I just want the people to stop being killed. I just want the killing to stop. There's innocent people being killed." And anytime they ask him, "Do you want Ukraine to win?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I just want the killing to be stopped."
Yeah.
But I don't know, because the military industrial complex, are they using Ukraine as a proxy against Russia?
Yeah.
They're all fucking making their money, like Nancy Pelosi, the lot off of all these Lockheed Martin and all these what's the other one called? Raytheon it's another weapons company, something like Raytheon or Raytheon. So they're all pocketing off it, right? But the assassination attempt on Trump was that to try and fucking whack him before he gets in, before he stops the war, or will he just be swallowed up by the machine when he gets into the office and just do a good boy and just do what he's fucking told? But what's this crack about the wall? Sure, his whole thing, build the wall, but sure, the wall wasn't fucking built. He spent all these millions on fucking prototypes.
Yeah.
Sure, the fucking thing was never built. He's not mentioned nothing about the wall anymore.
Yeah.
He's going to say he's going to stop all these illegal immigrants coming in. How's he going to manage that? And then his thing, Joe, this story there that was released there recently about this one that was eating a dog or eating a neighbour's cat.
Yeah.
Apparently that was fact checked, and I don't know.
I saw the video.
I seen the video, but apparently it was this one that was. It's in Orion, isn't it?
Ohio, was it?
Ohio, sorry, yeah. But apparently she's been living in America a while, and she's, you know,
yeah,
she's American.
Yeah.
But she just had something wrong with her. Like she pleaded insane. Then like.
Yeah. There, do you know what though? Like I've seen.
They're eating the cats.
I know, like I've seen, like unfortunately, I've seen fucking footage. I saw it today, like of a guy eating a cat,
Another fella
eating a cat alive, and it was like, I don't know where this was, what country this was, but this is a fucking black dude.
Oh, sorry, this is I Show Speed. The fella with the afro.
No, he's just.
He's a YouTuber.
No, this wasn't a fucking. This was like somewhere in Africa or some shit like that. This was just some random dude.
Okay, right.
Scruffy, dirty on the street, black guy, and he's got a cat, and he's fucking like breaking the cat and fucking eating it. I've seen a couple of these videos, and I saw a video came out of Italy, of a guy cooking a cat on the side of the road, like he killed it, and had lit the fire and was fucking cooking this cat, and I've seen footage of people eating fucking people in fucking Haiti. It's not good to watch. Like there's a fucking human leg on this fucking fire, and this guy picks it up, takes a bite of it, and throws it back down.
Druggies or what?
What the fuck? Like, well, they're saying cannibalism is a big thing in Haiti. Like, what's the leader? What do they call him? Barbecue or something?
What is it?
Yeah, some military leader in Haiti or some fucking warlord. His nickname is Barbecue. But that's all these reports coming out. But fuck, like this is the thing about fucking X and the internet. Like you can just be fucking scrolling through, kind of minding your own business nearly, and the next thing you're looking at something going, what am I looking at?
Yeah, but that's one good thing about X.
Like,
you won't come across that on Facebook or fucking anything else.
Yeah.
That's one good thing about X, or X. There's, like, even though Elon Musk, your man David Icke is saying shit about him, Elon Musk is he surely has seen that shit, like, and he's just letting them up there. Elon Musk's thing is, that's what freedom of speech should be. Even if it's people that you don't agree with, they should still be up there.
Well, I got kicked off after 60 followers on fucking
Yeah,
X.
but that's Twitter though, isn't it?
No, it was X. I went onto it because
after Elon Musk.
Musk is on, so it's the freedom of speech platform.
What's that?
I got 60 followers and I was gone without a warning. Like, and I was on it for about 2 weeks and I got a warning, a 12-hour suspension, and I had to take down a tweet, and the tweet was, he should have been hung, and I was referring to a paedophile priest who got 1.5 years in prison, and I said he should have been hung, and they said, oh, that you can't say that, that's too much. Okay. So I said, fuck, this is the standard. So I was like watching myself after that, trying to watch myself, and about a month later I was just gone.
And what? Why?
No reason given.
What?
Just gone.
What were you doing? Were you commenting much on posts?
I was posting some of my own videos from BitChute,
right.
But I think I only posted like 3, and I can't remember which ones now, you know. But I obviously said something in one of them that was far worse than anything David Icke could possibly say to Elon Musk.
Did you see that thing as well up in SpaceX? They've launched he's up there at the minute. This fucking billionaire guy.
How many
he's got a little bit of a spacewalk.
No,
it's the farthest man has been since Apollo 11.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's basic. They've done suits and everything, sure. Like they look like science fiction. They've done suits a couple of years.
Right.
But they're cool looking, yeah. But
they've sexied up space travel. Nice. I wouldn't, like, again, a fucking billionaire going to space. Did you not learn the lesson from the billionaire who wanted to see the fucking Titanic?
Yeah, what the fuck, like, yeah. But apparently someone wants to do that again.
Yeah, good luck to them.
SpaceX, hold on now, I'll get this lad's name up. SpaceX News. SpaceX Polaris billionaire Jared Isaacman. Yeah, he just basically stepped out into a bit of a... Put half his body, put his torso and his arms outside.
Had it look like a little space meerkat.
Yeah. I wonder if fucking, what you call me, that pop up out of the ground.
Meerkats, I think. Yeah.
No, not meerkats.
No?
They're in remember Indiana Jones, the fucking one that with the bad CGI?
I never saw that one, I don't think. The last one.
No, it's the fucking, it was the one where he went flying in, he was inside some town and there was like a nuclear explosion. He'd been flying in a fucking fridge and he survived. When the fridge just exploded and just went flying and hit the fucking ground and he just falls out of it and not bothered him. A mole.
A mole, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh god.
Yeah, look, I suppose we'll probably leave it there for this week.
Yeah. Oh, I'll leave you with this though. Because I said to the wife, I'd finished this. This is like our thought for the night, or wherever you are when you're listening to this. Right. Deja vu, the concept of deja vu, and Java vu, right? So, deja vu means happened before, and I think it's Java vu. I'm probably not getting this right now, but it's something like that. Java vu means never happened, right? What that means is Java vu is where you experience something like you're in your own house and you're supposed to remember where you are, but you don't remember where you are. For a brief moment, you don't know what the fuck's going on, right? That's Java vu.
Yeah.
And then there's deja vu, happened before, and there was a couple of different theories on what deja vu actually is, right? And one of them ties into the fucking parallel universes thing, right? If I can remember this correctly. So like in a parallel universe, there's all these different scenarios where you can fucking, like, I'll drive out the driveway here now, will I go left or right? All these different things will splinter off or split off, and then you create another universe.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities.
Time.
Deja vu is when you and one of your other parallel universes do exactly the same thing at the same time. And you clash and you go, whoa, what the fuck was that? And fuck it now, she'll kill me because I can't remember what the second was. There was another one as well, it was very interesting. But I think I fucking half experienced this Java vu thing a few months ago. I wasn't fucking smoking anything and I wasn't drinking. But I found myself standing in my kitchen, all my family are there, and I'm looking at the fucking countertop and I'm thinking, is this... I felt like I hadn't been there in 100 years.
Presque vu?
No. It could be though.
Oh no.
But yeah, I felt like I was remembering my house, but I was, obviously I'm there, I'm here live, but I'm standing in my kitchen feeling like I haven't been here for 100 years. I felt like I hadn't been here in 100 years, and I was looking around at the layout of the kitchen going, as if my memory had deceived me on what the layout of my kitchen was. Does that make sense? That's a bit fucking out there now, but that's the Java vu kind of thing.
Jamie vu. I just googled it there. JAMAIS.
Jama vu.
And is that the one that you're looking at? Then the third one.
My fucking eyesight's going. I've never heard of Presque vu now, but yeah, Jame vu is the one she was telling me about. Anyway, I think that's kind of half of what I experienced. But yeah. But what was the other? There was another fucking. I'll have it for the next podcast.
This one, Presque vu, the tense feeling of being on the very brink of a powerful epiphany, insight, or revelation without actually achieving the revelation.
Do you ever experience that? I never heard of Presque vu, but I fucking experience that shit all the time. 4
types of deja vu, a psychologist shares.
Okay.
Hold on, this might be in here. Jamais vu, yeah. Yeah, imagine, so this is a scenario. I don't know what you're on about. Imagine Kate, who has been living in her current neighbourhood for years, yet one evening as she walked home from work, everything suddenly seemed strangely unfamiliar. The houses, the trees, even the street signs appeared alien to her, as if she'd never seen them before. Despite her repeated journeys along this route, she couldn't shake the eerie feeling of unfamiliarity, leaving her disorientated and unsettled. I don't think I can. But maybe it's one of them feelings that you don't really have memory of. Because, do you ever... So you were on about deja vu there to me, right? And I'm straight away like, oh yeah, I definitely had a deja vu moment. But I can't pinpoint in my memory a deja vu moment.
Can you not? No.
No. So then, jamais vu, yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
Presque vu is that one. And deja rêve. Imagine Emily, who woke up from a vivid dream, feeling shaken and disorientated. Later that day, while visiting a new cafe with friends, she suddenly felt a strange sense of familiarity wash over her. The ambience, the aroma of coffee, even the conversations around her seemed to echo fragments of her dream. In that moment, Emily felt profoundly confused, as if the lines between her dream world and waking reality were blurred.
Yeah, that's the example my wife was giving me, that you're having deja vu because you dreamt this scenario first and experienced it later.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Have you?
Yeah, I've had moments like that now where it's something even mundane, and I just fucking stood for a moment and said, hold on, this has happened before. Okay, that's the deja vu thing. But then I said, hold on, did I dream about this? Or do you ever have a moment where you're like, okay, is this the deja vu kind of a moment where you're like, okay, has this happened before? Is it? And then you kind of remember something that's happened before, like it's a memory. But then you're like, oh, hold on, did this actually happen, or did this happen in a dream? Am I remembering a dream? There's a lot of weird shit like that, man.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever tell you this. Have you ever had a concussion?
Once, when I was a young fella, I was going up for a ball and football and clashed heads with another lad.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I've had 4 concussions.
What the fuck?
Now the last one wasn't too bad, but the second concussion that I had, I was playing a match, same as yourself, playing a match, and I fucking clashed heads with a guy. And I remember getting up off the ground. He was wearing fucking, what do they call them? He was wearing headgear. They call those things in rugby, I can't even remember now. Scrum cap, he's wearing a fucking scrum cap.
Yeah.
And I remember getting up going, fucking pussy, thinking to myself, what a fucking pussy. We clashed heads, I'm up first, you're still down. And then it's gone, like, you know. And to make a short story shorter, I was being taken off the field a few minutes later by a friend of mine, one of the lads I have on the hook. And as we're walking off the field, like, it's hard to explain how real this was, but I suddenly realised I've been here before. Like, not like I'm daydreaming this, like, I have fucking been here before, I've experienced this, I remember this. And I turned to him and I was like, Thomas, I've been here before. We're gonna fucking lose the match. I've fucking been here before. I've experienced this, and I know we're gonna. I had this urge to tell him before I went away that we definitely gonna lose this match because I've been here before. I've experienced it. Now, by the time I got to the fucking sideline, I didn't know where the fuck I was. You know, I really genuinely had forgotten everything.
What the fuck?
But in that moment, I remember so clearly going, "Holy shit!"
Having that realisation.
I've lived this moment before.
What the fuck? I never had something like that. No.
Yeah. Such was the fucking wallop in the head, but we did lose the match.
Was there, so you ran about it there, why, like the Buddhist thing is that you ran about like the containers for soul.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say that, like that's the belief, that's the Buddhist belief that the bodies are a container. And it's like, do you ever see someone dead, like, as well? Like, you see them lying there, they're dead. They just don't seem like they're
real.
The person.
Yeah, this person is gone, like.
Yeah, it's like they're a fucking, it's like it's a fake body, kind of like.
It is, yeah.
A wax kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's more to being alive or something.
And then if you see someone asleep in the bed, you know that it's them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're inanimate, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, is that just kind of like your thing that we subconsciously, that we're just aware that they're alive, and then when they're dead we just realise that they're dead, so then we're just kind of focusing more on that? Or is there something like, is there an actual energy that we're feeling?
Yeah, I kind of go for the latter. Like, I think there's something about the energy, and when the person's gone, it's like it's more than, like, you realise that the real person was the life within them and not the body that they were walking around in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're all out there, you're NPCs and so like there's a lot of people out there, like, look, everyone's different, like, we're not all perfect, but there's a lot of people that have fucking zero personality. And it's just like, I'm not saying I have a fucking savage personality or whatever.
You do, John, you're a fucking great laugh.
No, but like, there's just some people like, holy fuck, lad. Do you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the robotic in nature.
Yeah.
It's like, how the
Do you know what? That's a conversation after the next one, though, because I've been researching psychopaths.
Okay.
I have to get on about the psychopaths, man, because when I first learned about them, it was like a veil had lifted. My view of the world completely changed. It was like a piece of the puzzle has been fitted in here. That fits for sure. I get this.
An epiphany moment.
Yeah. There you go.
Give us a quick little taster on that now. kind of like leaving on a cliffhanger or wanting more there for the next
I was trying to leave
episode.
I was trying to leave us on a cliffhanger with deja vu there. The psychopath thing. Well, look, I'll just say, like most people, myself included, would have had this idea that a psychopath is fairly easy to fucking recognise. They're fucking lunatic. They're just mindless, brainless killers. You know, axe murderers, psychopath, or whatever. But really, what psychopaths are is they're like crocodiles in human bodies. They don't feel shame or remorse or guilt or embarrassment, all the kind of emotions that kind of keep us in check.
Or
because
empathy.
we can all be, or empathy, because we can all be dicks and we can all do shit that we shouldn't do, and we all sin or whatever. But we'll feel remorse, we'll feel guilt, we'll fucking look back, we'll get into bed at the end of the night and we'll think about, oh fuck, I shouldn't have said that or done that or whatever. And you can fucking have these regrets for years. But a psychopath doesn't, they're not programmed like that. And from what I understand, see, I could talk about this now for an hour, but from what I understand, they're like, if you, for example, if we hook your brain up to an MRI machine or whatever, and we show you pictures of flowers, sunsets, newborn baby, filthy toilet, vomit, roadkill, your brain will recognise the nice images. Even me talking about them, your brain will have, it'll release chemicals.
Associate something, yeah.
Yeah, there's happy chemicals with happy pictures, and then there's your brain will literally wince when you see the bad things. But the psychopath will be in neutral the whole time. He's not affected one way or the other, he or she, because they're women and men, psychopaths. And I think that we'll get into it the next day. I'll try and construct it a bit better, but I think that when you realise the significance of psychopaths and what they really are and how they're all around us and how they operate, the realisation for me was this information has been kept from us deliberately, that we go to school and they fill us with bullshit, they teach us shit that we can't fucking use anywhere. Basically, like once you go to primary school and you learn to read and write and you learn to count, basic maths, and that's basically the end of your education. After that, you're fucking getting fake history, fake geography, fake science, fake everything. And maybe even if that a lot of that stuff can be real and true,
yeah, what think everything's
they're
fake.
deliberately but you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
But they're deliberately leaving out massive relevant information. Like they never teach us about money when we're in school.
No, never tell you how to manage money.
How to manage it, how to fucking think about it, how to use it. It's a fucking tool.
How to invest.
None of us, they don't teach us this shit.
No.
Deliberately. And they deliberately don't teach us about psychopaths. And I think that again, I could talk this all day, but I think that they put psychopathic characteristics into television characters, into movie characters. They mix them
heroes and
with,
stuff
with villains as well, heroes and villains. Like a character like Breaking Bad, he's kind of the anti-hero. What's his name? Walter White. Like they made him very human at the start. Cancer, he's dying, he loves his family, loves his son, he's a science teacher, he's a genius, and he's an all-round likeable character. Like he's got likeable qualities, admirable qualities, but there's certain things that he does throughout the series of the show that only a psychopath would do.
Like your man when Jesse Pinkman, remember he was there with his girlfriend at the time.
Perfect example. Let the girl die, then went the father for a drink.
She choked on her own vomit.
The father then fucking gets a call and leaves, and he just sits there sipping his big drink, like not a care in the fucking world.
And the reason why she left her to die is because he would have fucked. She was going to ruin the operation. Yeah.
So just little things like that. I'll leave it with one more.
Go on.
Your man from Family Guy. This is how sinister this thing is now. I haven't watched Family Guy in like I don't know 5 or 10 years, so I'm working on memory here, right? But one of the things that psychopaths do when they have a family is that pick one of their children to abuse, to be really mean to, and then the other siblings and the wife will join in on this in order to gain the approval of a psychopathic husband, that they're just craving love and they're craving approval from him because he treats everyone like shit. But if they see that the psychopath will enjoy watching them be mean to the child. So everybody in the Family Guy is, shut up, Meg. Yeah, Meg, shut up.
Never thought of it that way.
And I think it's so sinister that they do this because the writers know what they're doing. The audience doesn't know what they're watching, but psychopaths know what they're watching. And psychopaths can see each other, apparently. For the world for a psychopath is like a video game. Like if you and me go home now and we start playing a PlayStation game where you're online, I'm online, and there's NPCs in the game like fucking, what's it called? Grand Theft Auto or something like that.
Call of Duty.
Or Call of Duty. Grand Theft Auto is like in a city and stuff, right?
Yeah,
so there's loads of NPCs, an open world game. So there'll be NPCs there, and there'll be hundreds of real people in there too.
Yes.
And I can look over and see your name of you. I go, there's John, and you can see me, and then we can hang out and we can talk and we can plot and we can do things or whatever. Psychopaths will actually see each other in a bar filled with people, and they'll study each other. A psychopath will watch another psychopath, see how he's behaving with the woman that he's with, learning from him and stuff like that.
So that's kind of like we're leaders. Like who in their right mind would want to like fucking run a country with millions of people and decide how fucking basically what way the country is fucking viewed by other countries, how it treats its own people. Like, who wants that responsibility?
Yeah.
There has to be. That's not normal. Like.
And you know, it's funny. I watched American Psycho there the other day.
Oh, what a flick!
And the next day I saw. Did you see this video footage of Simon Harris dancing? Have you seen this footage?
No, man, no.
And it's just like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this fucking guy is like a psychopath. He's like fucking. They try to mimic normal human behavior, but they can't do it. They're not, because they're not human. They're not human like us. So you see, like, there's 2 videos going around of Simon Harris dancing now, and it is fucking bizarro shit.
It's like he's trying to dance, but he can't.
But it's like he's trying to mimic natural human behaviour.
Yeah, but sure, when he's talking anyway, like before he became Taoiseach, you just knew there was. But do you remember when he won he became the Taoiseach, and he goes, is he Fine Gael? Fine Gael, sorry.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. If you think the Fine Gael are a tired party, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Alright.
Savage.
Good talking to you, John. I
Nice
missed you. I haven't seen you in a month.
Yeah,
We're working too fucking hard.
We'll hopefully we get the other one, the next one out quick enough anyway. Psychopaths.
We might get
nice.
Spoiler alert, we might get Andy in to talk
yes.
about the pyramids.
Oh yeah.
Andy, if you're listening, you're in now.
We're coming for you, lad.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
So
take it easy.
Take it, Andy.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago, I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. Apparently that's only a few hundred yards away from where the World Trade Center towers were. And it seems that this was not a result of a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attack. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy. There's almost a sense downtown in New York behind me, down by the World Trade Centers, of just an area completely closed off as the rescue workers try to do their job. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center appears to be still burning. We see these huge clouds of smoke and ash, and we know that behind that there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline.